Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth to rule well. And I want to say shalom to Akim Nakwat out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one's titled Cbdc News, and in parentheses, Motb, which of course stands for the Mark of the Beast. And the Mark of the Beast referring to the that digital device, that RFID implant. And this is something that I found a day or so ago, from the main wire, just by looking up, RFID news, or not. No, it wasn't that. Slovakia. That was something else. This one actually just popped up on Google News. From time to time, I'll actually go and type RFID in and go and look through the news and see if anything comes up. But that's not how this one came up, because this one's not even talking about RFID plainly. But it is talking about that cashless economy, that cashless society, that Cbdc, which is going to be led by that Mark of the Beast, that RFID chip implant, right? As it has been taught to us by the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. So if you don't believe it, hey, that's a lack of your understanding, right? If you can't see that the Mark of the Beast is clearly the RFID implant, then your brain, where's your brain at? Okay, so this is from Main Wire. It says, Main banking exec argues for cashless economy. And this was released on March 29th of 2024. Well, it was at least updated on March 29th, 2024, which I believe is the 30th today. If I can find out somehow. Let me see. The 31st. So the 31st. So let's get right into it. It says, a Maine baking executive says that for the United States, evolving to a cashless environment should be a priority because digital transactions allow for more oversight, tracking, and control of payments. And right there, man, you can already tell it's some malicious shit just right off the top. What's the benefits of a cashless society? Digital transactions allow for more oversight, tracking, and control of payments. They want tracking and control of payments. They want to know what you're buying, when you're buying it, when you're selling, what you're not selling, how often you're selling it, how often you're not selling it, what you're buying, what you're replenishing, this, that, and this other, how much meat you're eating, how much meat you're not eating, your carbon footprint, yada, 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 man. They want to know all those things, and that's what this all goes back to with that Cbdc. It really goes back to Esau, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, wanting full control and to basically put them into positions where they think that they're Yahweh. That's what they ultimately want to do. They want to try to usurp, the Lord. They want to put themselves in a position higher than the Lord, and that's simply just not possible, man. It's simply not possible. But you got, the hubris and the pride of these devils, man. They think that they're actually going to be able to accomplish that through their draconian law system. This law of changing things and more control, and you own nothing and you rent everything and you like it. You'll own nothing. And you'll like it, you'll enjoy it, or you will eat the bugs and you will like it, right? They don't want you having nothing. They don't want you having real meats. They keep on doing this genetically modified bullshit. They already, Chick-fil-A just recently went back on their promise for no hormones in chicken. They went off on that. And some people might say that, no hormones, all these people are putting hormones in it. But I think it's deeper than that. I think there's going to be a change in their chicken. And what I think, and I don't like the shit anyway, I think Chick-fil-A sucks. I'd much rather get chicken from anywhere else. Maybe, the only thing I'd choose Chick-fil-A over is maybe Popeyes, because Popeyes fucking sucks. It's not good chicken. It's not good at all. But I think that that's going to be one of the ways they implement that fake chicken, man. Because, last year there was a lot of talk about this fake chicken. This genetically manufactured, not even modified. It's not even modified. It's just lab-grown chicken. It's completely synthesized. Completely synthesized chicken. Let's go look up the word synthesize. Synthesize. And I probably pronounce it wrong, but you know how it is. Let's go look what synthesize means.
Synthesize.
I can't hear if it's playing.
Synthesize.
It was playing. So synthesize. It says make something by synthesis, especially chemically. Now, what is synthesis? We got to look that up. That's the stupidest shit. S-Y-N-T-H-S-Y-S. How do you spell that shit? Synthesis,
Synthesis.
And that's not what it is. Here it is. The production of chemical compounds by reaction of simpler materials, that's not even it either. Synthesis. Let me see. Let's find it. Let's see. Let's go to Merriam-Webster. Says, definition B, synthesis. The production of a substance by the union of chemical elements, groups, or simpler compounds, or by the degradation of a complex compound. What else do we got? That's pretty much it. You're basically making synonyms would be a blend, a combination, all right, a cocktail, all right, a composite, a fusion, all right. It's not even real. It's synthesized. All right, it's a synthesis. All right, synthesize. All right, a synthesizer. At the end of the day, what does a synthesizer do? It makes sounds that sound like other things. It synthesizes. You can have something that sounds like an organ. It can sound like a guitar. All right, the synthesizer keyboards. You can have something that sounds like. They even have ones that sound like human voices or choirs. All right, and it's not real. All right, it's synthesized. All right, or if any of you brothers or sisters have played, that game Fallout 4 specifically, they touch on it a little bit in Fallout 3 about the Institute, but they deal with this robot that looks like humans, almost like a Terminator, and they're called synths. All right, they're not real humans. They act, walk, talk, look, and drink just like a human, but they're not humans. They're synths. They call them synths. They're synthesized. They're synthesized human beings, man, and they're doing the same thing with meat. All right, they're synthesizing it. Okay. And, that just a little off topic, but that's what I believe they're going to use. I think, Chick-fil-A is probably just using that because their chicken's probably not going to be real anymore, and a lot of the meat we eat is fucking fake as shit anyway, but it's only going to get worse, man. It gets worse and worse. First we were eating 100% meat, then we're eating 90% meat, 80%, 70, 60, 50, 40, the amount of meat, who knows how much meat we're even eating now. It's probably an amalgamation of all these different chemical compounds and disgusting bullshit, and soon they want it to get to where we're eating 0% meat, man, and it's just a chemical compound that they, formulated, that they synthesized within a lab. All right, that's the ultimate goal. That's what they want us to be eating, is just poison. They're already poisoning the shit out of us, man, with everything that they put. Hell, this tea that I got by me's probably got something poisonous in it. Let me see. It's got, this one's actually not too bad. Just, this is that pure leaf tea. It's just black tea, sugar, and citric acid, But it's probably got other shit in it that's not even labeled on it. It's poisonous. Everything we have here is poisonous. Even the water's fucked up. Now, this was interesting. It says, related, beware the digital dollar and CbdCs. Now, I'm going to open that up. If we have time, I want to touch on that a little bit, too. I haven't read that. But it says, Lucy Hannigan, Senior Vice President of Cash Management at Motb Savings Bank, argued in favor of creating a cashless society in an article entitled How to Make Cashless Payments Work for Your Nonprofit, published Friday by Motb. It says, reducing paper financial transactions and evolving to a cashless environment should be a priority. No, the fuck it shouldn't be, all right? Money's been just fine as it is. It says, Hannigan wrote, cashless payments provide a range of payments to nonprofits, their boards, and their customers if organizations are careful about what processes they implement and how systems are managed. It says, according to Hannigan, the COVID-19 pandemic forced businesses to implement paper-free and virtual processes to handle their finances while adapting to the new reality. It says, and looking related, it says Republican senators moved to block Cbdc, FedCoin. Okay, so, people know there's something wrong with these CbdCs coming up. All right, now I want to just put this out here, all right, because in a minute we're going to talk about the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is in no way, shape, or form have anything to do with the COVID vaccine. Okay, no way, shape, or form is it the COVID vaccine. It's not. Okay, you got bug outs out there that are thinking that, and I'm saying this also because when you mention that word COVID, you have YouTube that comes on here and tries to mess with you and try to say you're saying something that you're not. They've tried to take my videos down for medical misinformation, so over saying that they've assumed that I said something. All right, so I'm putting it out there in plain words right now, and I know they can see it on the transcript that I'm not saying that the mark of the beast is COVID. I'm saying what the mark of the beast is the RFID implant. Okay, and that's what we know it as to be. It's not the COVID-19 vaccine. It's not nothing related to COVID. All right, it's specifically referring to the RFID implant chip. Okay, so you can't take that down for medical misinformation, because I'm not saying anything about the vaccine. All right, this lesson has nothing to do with the vaccine. As a matter of fact, all right, it's not even relevant. The only reason I'm even bringing it up is because you know they'll try to say something about it, okay? And you can't take my video down and flag it for some shit that I didn't even say about it, all right? So if you try to take it down or strike it, I'm just gonna dispute it, okay? I'm just gonna dispute it. And if you want to go further than that, we can go further than that. So it says, for years, Americans have been slowly moving away from cash and paper checks, but the pandemic supercharged the trend. Hannigan wrote, by last year, 41% said they'd never use cash for purchases, up from 24% in 2015. According to the Pew Research Center, only 14% still exclusively use cash and checks. And bear with me, I'll grab a drink here. All right, so, and you know, I'm not saying that I don't use cashless payment. I use, like, 99% of the time I'm using cashless payments, okay? A lot of the time I use my Apple Pay right on this here phone that I'm doing this lesson on, man, you know? Or even when I'm using my cards, I'll tap them. But here's the thing. That's not where they want to keep it with cashless society. We're already in an almost cashless society as it is. Not a lot of people are using cash, all right? Most people are using, cards. Most people are using their phone, Apple Pay, Google Pay, so on and so forth. But that's not enough for these devils, man. They don't want to just keep it at that. We're pretty much in a cashless society, and it's fine as it is. They want it deeper than that. What they mean by cashless society is they don't want everybody using Apple Pay and Apple Pay and Google Pay and using tap to pay cards and using credit card and debit card. No, they don't, and just no more dollar. That's not what they're talking about, man. They want to completely get rid of dollars as it is, because as it is right now with the money in my bank account, I can walk down to a bank and I can pull that money out and get physical paper cash. They don't want it to be like that. They want it to be a credit system, a CBDC, a central bank digital currency. All right, and they want to have full control over everything. All right, they want to have full control over everything. So, and they don't want you using cash at the end of the day. They don't want you using cash. They don't even want you having cards like that. They want you to have a chip. They want you to have a payment that goes through the federal government. All right, Fed. They want that central bank digital currency. They want it all controlled. They don't want individually owned and operated banks. They don't want that. They don't want nothing to do with that, man. They want to have all the control because it goes with their routine. It goes with their plan, man. So it says the main banking executive argued that companies tied to paper are at risk of losing their customer base and are more prone to crime, such as employees taking cash from a till, customers writing bad checks, and theft of mail to obtain personal information for identity theft. Digital transaction, Hannigan wrote, allow for greater oversight in control of payments. Funds transferred are electronically tracked at every step, she wrote. Hannigan recommended that business implement certain best practices when transitioning to fully digital payment processing, including additional oversight and training for employees, requiring the use of electronic transactions as part of contracts with vendors, and working with a bank for fraud prevention. Yada, 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 right? And I'm sick of sitting right here, so I'm going to get up and go on the move. So, let me throw this drink right in my back pocket here. We'll get going. I want to grab a scripture too, because that first article, I want to touch down that other article too, because and leave it to this lady to be leave it to a lady to be talking about moving it forward with cashless society. Okay, it's simple. It's simple. It's more simple. Yeah, in a way, cashless societies can be more simple, but like I mentioned earlier, we're basically already living in one, man. We're already living in a cashless society, okay, for the most part, and we're not living in a 85% cashless society. All right, it's not 100%. You can still use cash if you wanted to. At some places, at my job, you can't even really use cash like that. And up until the past couple months, they basically made it to where you can take cash, but you have to have exact change, because we don't keep anything in the register like that. And it just gets dumped. We can't give you cash back. We can't give you change back, okay? But that was only a rule that was changed because one of our employees kept on taking cash when they weren't really supposed to be taking cash. So, we're already at this point where it's mostly a cashless society, but they want to move further than that. They want to eventually go to that CBDC, man, that central bank digital currency, all right, which goes back to CQS. I can't remember the whole line. I did a lesson on it back a while back. Basically, a social credit score checking system. All right, where they check your carbon footprint, and how much carbon you're off-putting, all right, how much meat you're buying, so they can basically full control, man. It's all about control at the end of the day. If you're wondering why they even want to do that, it's control. It's all about control. It's always been about control. It's always been like, wanting to be a god. They basically want to be a god, man. That's how it is. Okay. And when you see these things, you should be paying attention. You should be watching out and looking for these things. When you see these things, because for example, I'm not bigging myself up by any means, but I'm saying for any brother out there, right, when you see something like this should spark your interest. All right, Maine baking exec argues for cashless economy. When you see something like that pop in the headlines, that should, those alarm bells should be ringing, man. Those should be, you should have almost like, I'm not going to say have a lesson ready, but this is a topic you could have a lesson ready on, man. That this is something real. This is a real easy lesson, man. When they give us stuff like this, when they put these articles out in the news like that, they give us real easy lessons. It's really easy to pull the scriptures and go into a lesson on it. It's practically a free lesson, man. You don't have to sit and think about what you're going to talk about. This, boom, boom, boom. You have a bunch of scriptures that come to mind right off the bat. Mark of the beast, and the scripture we're going to grab in a minute about, not being ignorant of anything in a great matter of small. There should be multiple things flowing to you right off the bat, right? Because it's one of those things that, hey, man, when they're covering it up and trying to call it, this cashless, this, that, all it is, it's that draconian law system. They're trying to ultimately push for more control, ultimate power control, so they know what you're buying and when you're not buying. Because right now they have a thing where you could theoretically, you could be paid under the table, all right? And what you being paid under the table is basically where you're not listed as an official employee. They basically just give you cash on a table because they can't really track cash like that. If your grandma had, $40,000 somehow back in the day, all right, and she kept it, locked up in a safe box, all right, that $40,000, back then they weren't really tracking it like that. And now all of a sudden, you find that safe box for whatever means. She passes away, you go through her house and you find it, right? And now you have $40,000 of non-trackable payment. They don't know where the fuck came from, all right? They don't want none of that, all right? That's why they prefer, everything to be sanctioned through a central bank. They want to know, okay, this transfer happened from Jim to Larry, all right, of $20,000, all right, then Larry took this and he bought, groceries with it, he bought gas with it, and so on and so forth. They want to have every single thing down to a T, man. They want to know what you're doing, when you're doing, and what you're thinking about doing. So let's go ahead and get the first scripture of the lesson, right? We're going to go ahead and get Ecclesiasticus 5:15. It's right over here. All right, also known as Sirach. So Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, right, 5:14, or 5:15, my bad, Salakia. It says, "Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small." Okay, so when you see these things, well, it's not talking about the mark of the beast. It's talking about a cashless society. Well, how the fuck do you think the cashless society is going to come about? It's just going to pop up one day? No, it's going to be established through those the mark of the beast, man. It's going to be optional at first. Hey, there's this, device, and it's gonna, and they're not gonna make it sound like some evil shit. They're not. That's gonna go against their whole agenda. They're making it sound like it's cool, man. There's this a new device, digital, whatever. We don't know what it's gonna be called at the end of the day. It's not gonna be called the mark of the beast. All right, they're here's the DigiChip. A DigiChip. With DigiChip, you can track all of your income. It gives you a base off of it. It tells you your heart rate, your blood pressure. It tells you how much you're sleeping, how much you're not sleeping. It gives you this, your sodium intake. It tells you about this. If you have health issues, you can monitor this. If you have diabetes, it tells you when to take your insulin. It's going to be labeled as a super thing, And like, for example, if you look into the brain version, all right, the head version, all right, Elon Musk's Neuralink, all right, he has promises of, making people that are paralyzed walk again. So it might even be able to do something like that. Oh, it's going to make grandma walk again. She'll be able to go and, walk and jump up and down again like she was, 20 years old. And you're going to say, wow, grandma, you should get that, And then grandma's going to want to get it because, her crippled ass has been sitting in a chair forever. All right. And then boom, bam, you just got the mark of the beast and you're done, man. You're fried. Okay. So that's the thing that people don't realize, people don't care about it, all right, and they're going to fuck around and do something like that, and then they're, I didn't know it was the mark. Well, you should have been paying attention, you should have been listening, man. So that's why you can't be ignorant, like it says. Let's read it again. Sirach 5:15, "Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or you can't say just because, you don't understand it, that you can just write it off as nothing. That's not how this works, man. That's not how these things work. When you see these things, like I've mentioned before, and like I said, I ain't bigging myself up, but the only experiences I have to speak on are my own. And other things that brothers have mentioned their experiences. All right, so sometimes we'll share experiences back and forth. They might have went through something or seen something, and they'll share it to the brotherhood, or we might see something, talk about it. And like I said, I've seen at Walmart, and it was like a switch. And I remember 100%. All right, going because Walmart never used to do tap to pay. And I know because I pay all my shit tap to pay. And I hate fucking going to Walmart because I have to pull out my card and swipe the shit. Okay? It's not that big of an inconvenience, but see how they'll play off that convenience factor, man. But they had it one day where they were changing around terminals and doing all this stuff, and I remember being able to tap because I tapped and it went blink, and it went through. And then now, last couple times I went there, they don't do tap to pay. So what the fuck was that? Why all of a sudden were they accepting tap? They got these new kiosks, these new systems set up, all right, and all of a sudden they took it back, and now you can't tap anymore. Doesn't sound for some. So they upgraded to a new system that has that ability to do touchless payment, and then they disabled it all of a sudden. And like I said, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, just my thought is that I think that they're upgrading those systems. Maybe they had the old systems and now they have the new systems that's capable of that non-contact. That's what's called non-contact payment, so they can get ready for that mark of the beast, man. And I'd be very, very, very surprised if we don't hear any information or more, things coming out about the RFID chip implant this year. All right, you never know, man. We got that solar eclipse coming up. Could be something, could be nothing. All right, I hear a lot of Edomites talking about it, so I'm kind of under the impression that it might not be nothing. But regardless, like I've heard some brothers say, regardless if you see anything happen, something's happening behind scenes, and I agree with that. I do agree with that. Something's happening behind the scenes. They're supposed to be, opening up that CERN shit, fucking around with portals and shit as they do. All right, so something happened that, but I don't know if it's going to be something that we see, physically, something, visually, being able to see. It might be something behind the scenes. Who knows? Maybe they're working on, who knows? At the end of the day, I'm not these devils. I don't know what they're doing behind the scenes. All right, and I'm not Yahweh Shem Yahushai, so I don't know what's going on behind these scenes, man. But it's something to think about, something to look at. And, just know after April 8th, if you see weird shit happening that day or weird shit happen after, they probably fucking with something, man. Certain portals, particle accelerators. Apparently, they're going to try to launch missiles at the moon, or not the moon, at the eclipse. All right, all this weirdo shit, man, for one reason or another. Right? For one reason or another. They got their reasons. We might not know the whole reason, but we know the overall reason that they want to play God, but we don't know the exact reason what they're trying to set up here. But, hey, again, Sirach 5 and 15, be not ignorant of anything in a great matter of small. So when you see those things, continuing to talk about the eclipse even, or these digital payment methods or any of those things, you got to look at them in a perspective that it could be something, all right? It could be nothing, all right? The eclipse could be, it could end up being something big. It could end up being nothing at all, right? But that's something you got to, just put into perspective. At the end of the day, the elect's going to be safe. But who knows? They might be preparing something. They might, at the end of the day, we don't really know. All right. It's just one of those things to keep in mind. Just know that's happening. See where from there. I actually head around because it's going to start getting loud with the traffic. But, so we're going to continue on. I want to grab another scripture, Revelation 1 and 3. And they changed this app around. It's been a while since I've used it. I stopped liking doing phone lessons. I just started waking up earlier so I could do them at home instead. But unfortunately, I had to come into work early today. But hey, call all Yahweh Shem Yahushai for that, because I also get to get out of work early. It's a damn shame I got to work on the Sabbath, but at least I get out a little bit early. So this is Revelation 1 and 3. It says, "Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand." Okay, so there's things, you got it's all about prophecy, man. It's all about watching. It's all about looking, seeing what's going on. all right? Being not ignorant of any matter, great or small, all right? Paying attention, being on the lookout. BOLO, right? BOLO, if you work in retail, all right, if someone's stealing or something, they'll put out a BOLO on them, all right? A be on the lookout for, right? And we need a BOLO, all right? We need a BOLO in this truth. Be on the lookout for what? Signs, all right? And everything, man. The way that the wind moves in a different way, you know? Anything, man. In a great matter or small, all of a sudden, you know, if it's been 2 weeks and there ain't been no wind at all, why ain't there no wind? Not even a little bit of a breeze? Or if it's raining straight for a whole month, when it doesn't do that, or for example, here in Vegas, when all of us, it's 50 degrees and then bam, it'll be 70 or 80, and then it'll go back to being 50. What the fuck is that? That's not a normal weather pattern. That's not something normal, right? But people pass, oh, it's just the weather, you know, blah, 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 blah. No, that ain't normal, man. You know, I may not have been on this planet for 40, 50 years. You know, I'm still, you know, a younger dude. All right, comparatively, I don't feel like it, but you know, I've grown up. I've been here long enough. All right, in this hellhole Babylon to know that that's not a normal thing to have it all of a sudden rain and then it stop rain and then it be hot and then it be cold and then it be hot again and then it rain, and that's not a normal weather pattern, man. All right, even back when I used to live in Arizona, you get these weird things that happen with rain, sometimes called monsoons, but it's normal. It's normal in the pattern that you know when monsoon season's gonna start. All right, but this shit that happens in Nevada and probably other places, you know, with the other brothers and sisters, you know, you can type in the comments if you've ever noticed anything like that where you're at. But yeah, the weather's been all fucked up for the last, like, hell, I don't know, 5 years it seems like, you know, 5 or 6 years. It's just gotten really weird with the weather. Probably even weirder before then. That's just how long, you know, I've seen it. So, continuing on, again, Revelation 1:3, blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. All right, the time is at hand for what? You're going to start seeing things, man. You know, the Lord gave us signs of the times and gave us, you know, things to see, all right, to know when he's getting ready to come back, right, in Matthew 24. All right, so you'd be wise to understand and know those things. Certain things, wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes, all right, different things and different happenings, all right, coming about. All right, but if you don't understand those things, man, you're not going to understand when things, why all of a sudden we getting all these tornadoes and earthquakes and mudslides and all. Well, the Lord's visiting this place, man. Lord's visiting this place, and he's not just visiting Babylon, man. He's visiting all these nations, man. He's visited Moab with their landslides and their terrible things. You know, he's visiting the Middle East with all these things, and Russia, they just had that terrible attack. You know, all spirits of vengeance. It's not just Babylon. Babylon will be completely destroyed, but these other nations, man, they have hell to pay too, right? So you gotta, like it says, you know, blessed is he that readeth and that hear the words of this prophecy. And there's a lot of things within the book, all right, and a lot of different prophecies, all right. And there's another scripture. I don't know if it's right after this. Yeah, right after this. Esdras 4:37. First Esdras. Let me see. Bear with me. I'm still trying to remember how to use this app. So it should be, come on now, First Esdras, I'm assuming, 4:37. Let me see. It's not it. Second Esdras then. 4:30. What was it? 37. Yeah. So this is Second Esdras 4:37. Let me go fix this. I don't know how I missed putting that in there. So this is Second Esdras 4:37, and it reads, "By measure hath he measured." Do we want to read up? Let me see. No, we'll start with 37. "By measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times, and he doth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled." Okay, let's read that again. This is Second Esdras 4:36. It says, "By measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times, and he doth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled." All right, so Lord's not gonna he's not gonna mess with one prophecy until the other prophecy that comes before that is fulfilled. Okay, there's a specific order where things need to come to pass. All right, and that's another way of how we know what time we're in and where we're at. Okay, because like for example, all right, one of the the big final prophecy, all right, is that Yahushua is going to come back and deliver his elect, all right, as well as, you know, completely destroy Babylon and all of its wicked inhabitants, right? Save for a few, you know, elite that are going to go directly into captivity, and they're going to have to, you know, clean up the bodies after the, you know, the destruction. right? But what was my point I was getting? That can't happen. Slack got back on track. Call how about me? I'll shy for that. That can't happen until the mark of the beast. All right, and then World War III can't happen until the mark of the beast. All right, and then mark of the beast. Jacob's trouble is going to be synonymous with the mark of the beast. All right, Jacob's trouble. And so as soon as that chip rolls out and people are taking it, that's gonna get you right into Jacob's trouble. That's how you're gonna have to play all that. Oh, we're running out of food. There's shortages. You're gonna have to get this thing. Take this thing. If you don't get this thing, you're not gonna get help. You're not gonna get food. You're not gonna be able to access in the store. We have limited supplies for food, and unfortunately, we need to be able to track who's getting it, who's not getting it. If you get this thing, you know how they're gonna play that subtlety. They're gonna come in with they're snakes at the end of the day. These devils, man. They're going to come in and try to say some shit, some smooth shit, all right? Say some type of crazy shit, right? And you gullible-ass idiots are going to fucking believe it. All right, okay, I guess I better take it. As soon as you take that, boom, you're severed from the Lord, man. You're not repenting from that. You're not getting out of that, all right? That's essentially the digital all. So, got about... I'll go and read a little bit of that article, all right? So, this is this other article. I haven't even touched on this at all. I don't even know what this is really about, other than I know it's about Cbdc's because it popped up that way. But I don't know exactly what it's dealing with. Let's go and read it. It says, beware the digital dollar and Cbdc's. This is by Steve Robinson. This is from 2022, right? So it says, of course, you got the Federal Reserve, which is not federally backed. It's a lie and a scam. It says, the New York Federal Reserve Bank has entered a partnership with major global banks to test the concept of a digital dollar, according to a Reuters report Tuesday. We don't have to read too much of this. We'll skip down and tell you what they are. It says, central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, constitute the single greatest threat to the future of economic liberty in our lifetimes. These tools, which come dressed as fancy financial innovations, are inimical, never heard that word before, inimical to the principles of individual liberty and economic liberty. It says, to illustrate the dangers of CBDCs, let me offer a few hypothetical examples of how a digital dollar controlled by a central government might work in practice. This is great. This is actually perfect for edification, all right, in case you don't know what a CBDC is. Bear with me 1 minute. My mouth's getting dry as hell from all this walking and talking. Let me grab this drink. I'm going to go find a spot to chill, sit down for a little bit. All right, so they're going to give us a couple different examples of why a CBDC could be so terrible, or, how it might work in practice, quote unquote. So, Number 1, to protest government limits on personal freedom, liberty activists stage a peaceful protest around the nation's capital. The nation's leader, wanting to quell the protest and protect his power, instructs his Minister of Economic Control to reduce the protesters' CBDC balances by 50% every day until the protest ends. The protest ends shortly after the message pings on the Cbdc smartphone app. Total control, man. No justice, no peace, no racist police. All right, and they're going to say, yeah, ping them. Oh, shit, $50 out of my bank account. Man, this is injustice, man. This is bullshit. Oh, shit, $500 out of my bank account. Hit him again. 5,000. Oh, shit, I got to stop. I can't protest no more. That's complete control, man. That's complete control, and that's what they want. All right, I'm not going to listen to you. You come in that rage against the machine spirit. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. They're like, oh, yeah? All right, $5,000. Bam. Oh, shit. Ooh, that hurt my pocket. Oh, I won't be able to do that no more. They're like, yeah, no, sit your ass down and shut the fuck up. And then you know what you're going to do? You're going to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up, or else you're going to be broke as fuck if you keep on protesting and talking out against the government. All right? They see you teaching the Bible, boom, drain his bank account. Drain his fucking bank account. Oh, shit. But what they don't realize is that us, all right, that are teaching, all right, at the end of the day, all right, we have faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushai protecting us, all right, and keeping us fed, regardless of we're going to take your cash away, he. Well, guess what? It don't matter, because we got the Lord. The Lord will feed us. We might find an apple as we're walking, right? We might find an apple. We might find some pears. We might find something. The Lord takes care of his own, man. But you people out there, you worldly people, you're not going to have the help from the Lord, man. So you're fucked. Let's get another version of what could happen. That's an excellent call. All you how about Shemiao Shai for me even being able to find this, man, from 2022. All right, popped up as reference to that last article showing you you don't want no CBDCs, man. Here's definition 2, or an example number 2. Economic growth is lagging, and the economists and the federal government suspect it's because consumer spending isn't strong enough. People are saving their money rather than spending it. To fix this problem, the Ministry of Economic Control announces a new year-long negative interest rate for all CBDC accounts. Unspent balances of the CBDC will be reduced by 10% every month. As a result, no one saves. Everyone spends, and the economists have saved the economy. Right? Yeah, every time, right now you can just let that money sit. All right, you can take out, $200, all right, and set it in an envelope and let it sit somewhere on your nightstand, man. And they can't do nothing about that. All right, but if it's in a central bank digital currency and everything's going through the digital dollar app, all right, because you're going to have an app. You ain't going to have and that's the other thing I forgot to mention. You're not going to have no PayPal. You're not going to have no Zelle. You're not going to have no Chase. You're not going to have no Bank of America. You're not going to have no this or that. All right, you're not going to have none of that. You're going to have, DigiDollar, the app, or whatever the fuck they're going to call it, FedNow, or whatever. And you're going to use that app, and that's where you're going to have a FedNow. You won't have a card, all right? More than likely. At first, probably won't even be a card. At first, they'll probably just have it a tap payment, and then eventually how you're going to have to access it. All right, you're going to have to get that chip. You're going to have to get that mark of the beast, all right, that RFID chip. And if you don't get it, you can't access your funds. All right, if you can't access your funds and you're not in this truth, then guess what? You're going to starve, man. You're going to starve to death. So they're going to basically force these people to get the chip. And Lord willing, we don't get it. We can't say 100%, I'm not getting that shit. We'd like to say that we can't say that. We'd like to say that we're not going to get that shit. Right now, in the spirit that I'm in, all right, I'm going to say I'm not going to get that shit. But just like Elder Motb said earlier, all right, it's not earlier. He said in a different lesson, he says, right now I said that I hope that I don't get it. But, you never know. I hope the Most High doesn't put the spirit in you. That's the spirit you need to be in. All right? So, and if you're wondering, that was the wife, texting me. If you're wondering what HOI means, it's not HOI, or what that Hebrew account, it's inside joke with us with, how this video of this little kid saying, hi, but they say hoy, if you're wondering. Don't want to say, CHOI. Some bug out coming out. So, felt like I need to explain that. But here's another example. Definition 3. All these are fucking terrible, man. Every single one of these are terrible. Every single one of these are terrible. You don't want you don't want this type of control with your cash, man. You don't want this type of control. Matter of fact, give me a minute here because I'm gonna put it on Do Not Disturb. So none of these texts come through and mess up the lesson. Slack you for that. So number 3, here we go. Let me grab a drink. Mouth's getting dry again. Slack you. So continuing on. More reasons why you don't want this shit. Number 3. You're at a grocery store picking up some ribeye steaks because some friends are coming over for a barbecue. When you get to the counter, there's a problem. The cashier say your payment isn't going through. You check the Cbdc app on your smartphone. There's an alert. You have exceeded your monthly carbon credit usage. Please remove the following items from your grocery cart in order to proceed. No steaks. Sorry, it's too much carbon in the environment. Yada yada. And it's not about no fucking carbon, man. It's never been about no goddamn bitch-ass carbon. All right, it's all about their control. No more meat for you. No more this, no more that. Fuck these motherfuckers, man. These punk-ass bitches, man. They want all this control. These fucking Edomite white devil cracker-ass bitches, man. All right, and it's not about just the color of your skin. A lot of these devils are white, man. A lot of these Edomites, most of these Edomites are that color. All right, but it's not about if you're brown, if you're black, if you're whatever. There's no black people. There's no white people either. It's pink people and brown people. Pink shades and brown shades. That's what it's about. There's no white or black. All right, that's all terms they put on our people. Okay. So let me refrain from that. But it's a lot of these fucking crack-a-lacking ass crackers, all right, the Edomite devils, man, that just want control. Oh, we're going to make it to it. He. We're going to make it where they can't. Oh, buy meat. He. But you know what? They're not going to be under that system of the Cbdc. You think they're going to go to a store? You think Bill Gates is his fucking cracker ass? You think he's going to go to a goddamn store? And you think that he's going to have a problem with buying meat? Absolutely not. They're going to have all the meats. They're going to have all the turkey. They're going to have all the different things. And even they have abominable foods. They're Edomites. They're all the ham, all the lobster, all the crab. You know, they're going to be feasting, having all these things. You know, look, I'm going to hit his thing where he said he can't buy that. Ha, look, isn't that funny? Because they're devils, man. They're evil. That's all they do. Okay? Here's another one. Number 4, you want to pick up a new firearm for hunting season. We don't really give a shit about guns like that. But here's another example. You want to pick up a new firearm for hunting season, so you swing by the local sporting goods stores. But when you go to transfer Cbdc credits for your purchase, you're denied. The trusty Cbdc app explains, we've detected activity on your social media accounts that suggest you're at risk of causing harm to yourself or others. You're prohibited from purchasing a firearm for 1 year. See, that type of shit, man. And it's not, you might hurt yourself or other. No, it's because they don't want you fucking trying to pop off at them. That's what it is. It's just dumb, man. You know? So there's just so many different things. You know, I'm not going to even read number 5. I'll put it up on screen. So, you know, if you want to read it, you can read it. I didn't read it, but I see what it's talking about. So I'm not going to even fucking mention what it's talking about at all. You can read it and, you know. You can pause it right now if you want to pause it. All right. I'll move it down. Okay. So let's see. It said, here's an example in Canada. I guess, is this a real example? Yeah, this is a real example, I guess. In Canada, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, I forgot how to pronounce his fucking last name, ordered banks to freeze the bank accounts of political critics in America. President Barack Obama instigated Operation Choke Point, an unofficial Department of Justice program that blocked the financial system. Certain businesses, such as gun dealers, others frowned upon enterprises. It's just, you know, it's just a bunch of bullshit, man. It's a bunch of bullshit. How long have we been going for? Let me see. I only got so long as this, about 41 minutes. Damn, I tell you what, time flies by. Damn. All right. So yeah, I gotta get with these scriptures, man. 41 minutes. Damn. Hey man, time flies when you're having fun, as they say. You know, it's a good lesson. You know, I'm not bigging myself up. I'm just talking about through the Spirit, enjoying myself, having a nice time. All right, talking about this scriptures and these things coming, man. We gotta get on the roll here. We didn't even get the big hitter, the heavy hitter, Revelation 13 and 16. Let's go get it. All right, because that's what this Mark the Beast is all about. Revelation, come on. 13, come on, man. 13, 16. Small ass phone with some big ass thumbs. God damn. So it says, I just want to read up from 15. All right, because I like reading up from 15 instead of just starting with 16 all the time. So Revelation 13 and 15 says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many who would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And the image of the beast system is this devil system of control, man. This draconian law system by the Edomites. Okay. And it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, and the beast is also, you know, dealing with Esau and Edom, that dragon, you know, dealing with Esau and Edom, but it's the system of the Edomites. It's their system, all right? It's the beast system is the system of the Edomites, their standard of draconian law, right? Verse 16, and he causeth all, everybody, man, everybody, doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, size, shape, none of it, doesn't matter, doesn't give a damn to them, everyone's gonna get it. Verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. So you're a free man, you're a bond man, you're a slave, it doesn't matter. Free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Well, that's a spiritual mark. No, because if you go back to that mark, that word mark, if you go back to it in Greek, the original Greek, you're going to get a word called charagma. All right, charagma. Or there's multiple different, we just say charagma, all right? I don't know how to physically, I think it's charagma, or how it's charagma, or something, they pronounce it weird. But that word goes back to a mark, a graven thing, all right? A mark, a graven thing, graven, all right? If you look up the word graven, it's going to be something, you know, sculpted, carved, a thing carved, all right? And if you go back to the root word of charagma, it goes back to a root word karox, all right? And karox is talking about a I mixed two words together. A pail, a stake, all right, or a pail, a stake, or some other thing. A pail, a stake, and a palisade. All right. And if you look at a palisade, you look at a steak, a pail. And I'm not talking about a steak as in a juicy cow steak. I'm talking about a steak, like through Dracula's heart. All right. If you look through one of those up, it's like a needle-like point. It's a needle-like point. All right. And if you look up the device, all right, the implement, the tool that they're using to insert under these people's skins to put that mark of the beast, that RFID chip implant into them, it looks just like a fucking pail, a spike, a palisade, right? A stake, not a spike, a stake, a palisade, or a pail. All right. PALE, pail. All right. Not a pail isn't something you carry around. So, hey, man, what's going to happen if you don't get it? Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Verse 18, here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Okay, that's 666 that they put on everything. It's on the drink I'm drinking right now, man. It's on the drink that I am drinking right now. All right. Matter of fact, I could show you, but you wouldn't even be able to tell. I could try. Let me see. Let me see if I can do it. I don't want it to get. I'm in my work uniform. So if I show you this right here, right? If I show you this, all right, you see at the end, all right, I'm gonna try to show you. I don't want to focus. So if you see these two lines right here, right? If you look up how barcodes work, all right, all of these different individual shapes and length and sizes have different names, or not names. These have different letters that are linked to them. Keeps on trying to open that shit, but there you go. So they'll have different numbers linked to them. Now, if you look, see if I can get a close up. Come on, man. Come on. All right, if you look, all right, it's gonna try to do it again, but if you look, you see these two long, thin ones right here, all right, and you see that on the other side, right? And where is the other place you see them? Right in the middle, right there. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, you see it. So what is that? 6, 6, 6. All right, you can look that up. All right, that's something you can look up for yourself. All right, you don't believe it? Hey, well, you can look it up. Look up barcode, look, I can't remember how I did it one time. Numeric barcode numbers or barcode numbers. All right, and those two long, thin stripes right by each other's side, boom, boom, is a 6. So they got one on the left, one on the right, and one right in the middle. So every barcode consists of 666. All right. So let's go on. If you don't believe it, you don't believe it. I'm not going to force feed. I'm not going to cram it down your throat. You don't like the meal, don't eat it. So let's get Isaiah 14:12. Let's go over there. Isaiah 14:12. Speaking of all that handling of my drink makes me want to have some. I'm going to grab it. Oh, he's drinking the mark of the beast, everyone. No, it ain't like that. So, here's Esau, Edom, the devil, right? Verse 12, Isaiah 14:12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? All right, Lucifer is referring to this devil as well. Esau, Edom. He has many names. All right, the wicked, the devil. All right, Lucifer. All right, border of wickedness. Right. So, verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. This devil wants to play God, all right? Not as in be a God, all right? Not that, God is in the Bible. His real name is Yahweh. But be a God as in he wants to be the ultimate power. He wants to be the creator. That's why he's fucking with all this shit, CERN and all this shit, firing up those things, trying to launch rockets at the eclipse. And for fucking what? They're trying to get something, figure something out. I don't know what it is, but something to establish control. It's always about control with these devils, man. It's always about control. Always has been, always will be until they're destroyed. So it says, so they're going to try it, but what's going to happen? Verse 15, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, and hell's now, they're going to burn in hell. No, hell is the place of future punishment. If you go back to that word Gehenna, that's where hell goes back to, all right, which was a place in the valley of Hinnom, all right, where people would basically sacrifice their children up to Molech, all right? And it's a place, the literal term for hell is a place of future punishment. Where is the place of future punishment? Babylon the Great. What's that punishment going to be? Nuclear devastation, okay? Verse 15, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof? This is the guy, right? That opened not the house of his prisoners. They're going to be like, this is the guy. This is the guy. No. This isn't him. This guy's fucking pathetic. Look at him all there. He's trembling and screaming around on the ground. Look at him. This can't be him. No, it's him. Really? This is him? No way. It's him. Wow. That's the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. To make a man that weak so high up, and to bring that man so high up, so far down. Right? That's an excellent display of power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. He can put the weakest bitch-assness of a man into a position of power and then take him down to that bitch-assness once again. Whew. Don't want to be on the bad side of the Lord. And we're hoping that we're not. We're hoping that we're not. And we're expecting that we're not. Okay? Well, we all have things that we need to work on and get better. We're hoping that, the Lord has mercy on us and sees the good that we're doing. Right? None of us are perfect at the end of the day. But we hope that he sees us, making these lessons and praying and trying to keep his law to the best of to the best of our ability, and watching the signs and times and being occupied in prophecy. And we just hope that he has mercy on us, man. Call all Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Barak the Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, that's what we're hoping. All right, we're hoping and to not be taken down with these devils, man. We don't want to have a judgment and death with these fuckers, man. We don't want to have that. These same devils that fucking tricked us and lied to us and made us work like a goddamn a dog, fucking making us work to the bone all the goddamn time, being mean and rude to us all the goddamn time, saying, oh, you got to do this, we don't want to fucking go down with these people. Fuck them. We want to see their destruction, man. And we want to see Yahweh Shem Yahushai and praise the Lord, man. That's what we want to do. So, that's people are going to look at him and be like, this can't even be the guy that did, because it's going to be that. It's going to be like, wow, man, this guy's so weak, this guy's so weak, but that's the power of the Lord, man. So it says, all the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with the sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, Slakia, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. They're never going to be lifted up and celebrated, man. It's not going to happen. They're going to be, ridiculed, if anything. So Exodus 2:1, let's go and get there. So this is Exodus 2:1. So that mark of the beast that was mentioned in Revelation 13 and 6, 13 and 16, it's a digital version of the all right, and we're gonna read what that all is. This is Exodus 2:1 through. This isn't even it. Oh, how is this 2? That's not it. Give me a minute. Exodus 21. All right. I was missing a 1. There we go. Boom. So Exodus 21:1. It says, now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. If thou buy an Hebrew servant. And this is the other thing. Esau went completely against the rules. All right, there's rules of how it should be, but they just slaughtered and killed and tortured and Mandingo fighted and buck broke and just did all this nasty, abominable shit, man. There's a way that they are supposed to do it, but they completely did not listen. Verse 2, if thou buy an Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. Doesn't have to buy his way out, doesn't have to do this or that. He goes out for nothing, for free. After those in that 7th year, you are free, you are loosed, you're done, get out. You don't have to buy anything, you don't have to sell anything, you don't have to do none of that. You're free. If he came in by himself, verse 3, if he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. Okay, if you came in with your wife, you're leaving with your wife. Okay, verse 4, if his master hath given him a wife, and she hath bore him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her masters, and he shall go out by himself. You came in with a wife, that wife's leaving with you. You came in without a wife, all right, and he gave you a wife, that wife stays there, and you go out without her, right? But, verse 5, and if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free. I don't want to do it. Verse 6, then what? Then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door or under the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. Okay, so what does that mean? That means you're going to serve him forever. So that essentially that mark of the beast, that RFID chip, man, is essentially a digital version of this all. You're saying, I love my God, my master. And in this case, you're not talking about Yahweh Baal Shemi Shai as being your God and master. You're talking about Esau Edom being your God and master. You're saying, this is my master. I want to stay here with my wife. I love Chuck E. Cheese's. I love going to the Ringling Bros circus. I love going and doing all these things more than, I love going and doing these things. Not that going to the circus is wrong or off. Not that going to Chuck E. Cheese is off if you have kids. Not that anything like that's going off or being wrong. It's that you're putting that above Yahweh Baal Shemi Shai, at the end of the day. If you're saying, no, I don't want to go in the kingdom. I want to stay here where they have, Magic the Gathering tournaments, and I can do this and I can do that. That's where you start becoming wicked, man. That's where you're going off, man. Because you'd rather stay here in Esau society. You're basically saying Esau can do it better than the Lord, okay? And that's why you're going to take that chip and bind yourself as a servant to Esau Edom. All right, instead of Yahweh Baal Shemi Shai, because a lot of you don't want the kingdom, you don't want law, you don't want order, man. You're completely fine with the wickedness of this society, man. All right, and the pork eating, the drug using, the just complete fucked upness, man. And you're completely fine with it. All right, and it's gonna be too late for you one of these days. And hey, guess what? It's gonna be too late. It's gonna be too late for you one of these days. Why? Because it's gonna be too late. All right, the Lord told you to repent, turn back. All right, and you didn't want to do it. All right, so you don't want to do it. Hey, guess what? The Lord's not going to force you. He's not going to force you at all. So let's get 1 Thessalonians. Where are we at here? 1 Thessalonians 5 and 6. All right, so 1 Thessalonians 5 and 6, it says, therefore, and this is a message for all you brothers and sisters out there, all right? Especially for you brothers, though, too, because, you should be teaching, all right? 1 Thessalonians 5 and 6, all right, I believe, right? 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse 6, yeah. So it says, therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet the hope of salvation. For Yahweh hath not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we should live together with him. Okay, so now's not the time to be, fucking around and doing all that weirdo shit, man. Now's the time to be turning back, repenting, calling them on the name of Yahweh Baal Shemi Shai. All right, trying to do to the best of your ability. All right, trying to do, do the work to the best of your ability. All right, do what you can do. All right, none of us are perfect at the end of the day, man. None of us are perfect, but that's not an escape to be a slothful servant. All right, that's not an excuse to, for example, it's not that hard to make a lesson every day, man. It really isn't. At the end, I think the GMS standard is, and like I said, I know this because I follow after GMS. I'm not following after these wacko camps that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I'm following after GMS, the one that's going to give you the full truth. All right, we have 50% truth, then I don't want it, man. I want the 100% truth, or you can get away from me, But if you go the GMS, I think the standard is still, it used to be a lesson every 3 lessons a week. I can't remember. It was 3 lessons a week, and I was doing that because I thought, oh man, it's so hard, and the Spirit kept on me, and this is me, this is speaking of me, but the Spirit kept on me to do a lesson every day. I was like, man, it's hard to do a lesson every 3 days, let alone every day. Look, the GMS standard is a 10-minute lesson. That's 10 minutes out of your day. That's not even a Family Guy episode, man. Family Guy episode's what, 15, 20 minutes? Most kids have a small ass attention span. Most SpongeBob runs for 15 minutes. 15 minutes. You saying you can't do 10 minutes? That's 2 5 minutes put together. You're gonna take, man, if you're heating up food, that's about 5-6 minutes right there. You said you can't do that for the Lord? Psh. So, yeah, man. Hey, look, we're spending time. We need to come back to the Lord, repent. All right? We need to be trying to do right. We're not going to be perfect. We're in these sinful, fucked up bodies. We don't like it. But, hey, you know, we're going to get out of here soon, Lord willing. All right? We got to be doing what the Lord wants us to do to the best of our ability. Not all of us are going to be perfect. That's where mercy comes in. We're hoping the Lord has mercy on us, all right? We've all done bad things, all right? We've all messed up and made mistakes, but it's our goal to do the best that we can do and not keep fucking up, right? Not, I'm going to keep eating pork because it's, I'm just, you don't mess up and accidentally eat pork, all right? There's certain things we mess up from day to day, all right? But you don't mess up and accidentally eat pork, as in going and buying it and eating it. There might be times, where it's happened to me and my wife, we go and get some food, we're eating it, and then we're like, these motherfuckers put bacon in it. All right, happened just recently actually with us. The other day I had to go inside to be like, hey, I was nice, but I was like, hey, this has pork in it. This has bacon in it. We're allergic to bacon. We can't have it. And the lady was like, oh shit, okay. It's not supposed to have bacon in it. I was like, yeah, it's not supposed to have bacon in it. And they're like, yeah, she's not. And she was like, yeah, there's not supposed to be bacon in it. They fucked up. I'm like, okay. She's like, I made it myself. Here you go. Cool, calm, and collective about the situation, circumspect. You don't go, hey, motherfucker, you fucked up my... You don't want to do them to that. But even if you want to sometimes, you feel like that on the inside. But, hey, see, the Lord's going to, the Lord will forgive you for that because you didn't mean to eat pork. You didn't mean to do it. Or it's not like you purposely, I hope they put pork in my food. It's none of that. They did it. I personally still throw up a prayer and apologize about it. So that's something that's, out of your control. But you going in there ordering pork, most guys going to fuck you up for that. But, with that's pretty much the lesson, man. The CBDC news, Mark of the Beast, it's coming, man. It's rolling out. We don't know. We don't know what's happening. Hell, who knows? When this eclipse, maybe that's when they'll release some information. Hey, the DigiDollar chip or whatever the fuck. We don't know. Hey, if that happens, call all Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right? Well, regardless of what happens, call all Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, because he's worthy of it. He's worthy to be praised. So, with that, I'm going to close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Badash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. Shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until next one, Lord willing. Shalom.